The mid-Razor,
This is interesting.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how Mars does against this Beastmaster hero. I would imagine it does very well.
Yeah, for sure.
Either the Mars gets a stick and the Beastmaster goes for some Axes build and then you're just spamming back at him with the free mana you get, or he has a Boar and you have huge reduction from your Bulwark. That seems like a pretty solid hero against
I think the key thing from VP is they pick 2 off-laners so that there isn't a need to enable a carry, to enable someone. So these heroes can be left independently by going like Phase, Bracer, Wand. There's no real kind of kill threat from NIGMA, which unlocks the Snap on the Mirana, if needed, to run at mid, to start throwing arrows for the End creep to protect the TA. Because if anything, this entire game is built around simply, does Razor Crush TA run through the map and kill everything, or does TA farm the lane well, get Dragonlance Deso and just have a chill time? So it's all about how the supports unlock the side lanes and then collapse into that mid. We're going to see big engagements on this mid lane for sure.
Isn't the Razor kind of the be-all, end-all, though? Because, like, counters TA, counters Mars, counters Kunkka. How do you get away from this sapping energy core when you're 3 melee heroes in a Templar set, or 2 melee heroes in a Templar set?
I'm with you there. That's kind of my thoughts. Is I think that the Razor really nicely answers the TA, and I think the TA is the way that they're going to win the game. So that's a problem for VP.
And the clock is going to be ticking quickly because they're going to be up against the Spectre, and they're also fighting for their upper bracket staying in here, and I don't think it's looking too good, but maybe they can turn it around. Maybe they can give us a no-ping type turnaround performance as we pass it over to our casters for game number 2.
That's right, maybe they can. Virtus Pro, they're fighting to be able to stay in the upper bracket, or otherwise they may have that unfortunate fate that awaited them at the Singapore Major, where they just got bounced out in 3 series. That's all they got to play, Singapore Major, and they were hoping that, oh, we're already into the game already, so we're gonna have a first blood fight, which looks like it's gonna be Kingslayer dying first. NIGMA claimed the first blood. Must have been a fast smoke move.
They also pinged the ward, Cap. They also gave the last hit to Miracle. That is the dream going up against a TA middle.
Okay.
And I love that. That is the move. You're up a game, get the momentum, get inside your enemies' heads. And just a quick comment on the draft. I love what NIGMA has got going for them. This is like a TI draft. This is a major draft. And I'm not saying anything against VPs, but they're very much on meta, on brand. A lot of stuns, a lot of minus armor. Okay, cool, got it. NIGMA have doubled down on these methods of damage mitigation. Untouchable, Razor Link, Cold Embrace, Spectre Dispersion. It's so cool. Then you have the Beastmaster aura. You've got all these creeps that are gonna come out, potentially a turnaround with the Winner's Curse. It's a very complicated draft. Like, it is legitimately like Magic versus Brawn, Stun. It's late at night.
So why is that so important to you? The damage manipulation, armor control, like why are these things important to you? What do they represent? Is it because it's better team fight? Is it because it's guaranteed late game? What is it?
My theory is that the power creep in Dota has made percentage-based scaling mechanics significantly stronger than people realize. Talents and neutral items represent more gold, more damage at earlier timings. It took a lot longer to get your damage numbers high enough for percentage-based mitigation effects to have a huge impact on the game.
LTW being pressured quite a bit there in the top lane against the Snapfire Mars combination that is sitting there. I can buy what you're saying, by the way. I think that that is definitely a big factor. The fact that there is a significant amount of power creep that has happened in Dota, whether it's, neutral items, talents, and the fact that we now have the other side of talents that are also available, going even past 25. There's so many different opportunities to be able to allow your hero to scale. Miracle being poked down a little bit.
It's looking good so far for VP's lanes.
So they're pretty much just roaming around each other, it looks like, between Kuro and Save. Save looking to be able to arrow every single big creep that Kuro picks up.
Yeah, this is the way you do it. You actually preemptively arrow camps if you can. It's great to get the Minotaur spawn, or the Centaur spawn, because you just kill it, and then it's dead to Kuro. If he doesn't stand there and right-click creeps for 30 seconds, that camp will no longer be of any use.
Oh, he was trying to decide, am I going to go for the kill on Kuro, because he did have leap plus arrow, or am I going to try and secure this water rune for my mid laner, and ultimately decides the water rune is maybe more important here.
Yeah, the main point is really just VP. You think about how they're going to start a fight. How are they going to find kills? Very simple. X back into arrows, cookie stuns, spear stuns, TA a bunch of damage. He's going to farm agents, get Roche. NIGMA to win fights. It's so weird. You've got all these cooldowns to think about. You got to dance around the fight. It's boxing versus capoeira, and it's just going to be a really cool game to watch. I'm hoping neither side just gets obliterated in the laning phase, but we'll see how it goes.
Kuro looking to make his first real showing in this lane now that he's level 2. He's got impetus, he's got the troll creep ready to go, but DM's been a pretty happy camper here. Up against a Beastmaster, hard hero to beat for many for 1v1s, but he's got a clear mechanic to be able to deal with the boar a little bit. As a result, they're pretty even in CS. Mind control just up and denies.
I really like MC's decision, though. He's got 2 points axes. He's not really going for the boar build, and you can't because it's just, this lane's designed to kill it. I like that VP pushed the Kunkka onto a side lane. I think this is an off-laner, and it deserves an off-laner's farm priority. But a carry Mars. This is going off of what Insania told me just before he flew away. The idea is that TA is just like actually an incredibly hard scaling carry nowadays. So you don't actually want another on the lineup. You just want team fight behind in front of it.
Sure. Anything that is able to provide disables, maybe initiation, and just general good team fight presence early on. Because their Templar Assassin is going to be farming up Ancients and stuff. Nice combo there. Cookie into Spear. ILTW. Actually managed to get the double dagger there. Nightfall's going to be slowed down here as well. Ultimately, not going to try and go for the kill. Turns back around for GH. GH throws out another Splinter Blast. That brings Nightfall a little bit low, and the Spear doesn't quite latch. Nightfall really wanted to get that kill.
Nice job, GH. Save. It's really annoying to play Enchantress against Marana. Back in the day, that's
hits him with the arrow. That is indeed the first kill for Virtus Pro.
Yeah, my brother would always just ask for a Marana if he saw an Ench on the other team because you just deny its functionality.
He's got to help out the mid lane, though. This Razor is going hard right now. The Templar Assassin pushing him all the way back behind the tower, trying to get back into lane. The Marana will help him with that.
Tops going equally well for VP, though. I like that NIGMA addressed the TA immediately. This is a mid hero. We're going to pick a Razor and just look to one-to-one counter it in the laning phase. Razor also very good at invading jungle, especially once you hit level 6. You just run in, find a link. Trouble is, top lane, GH.
Yeah, they're trying for GH once again. Nightfall realizing he's going to just have to TP away. This Spectre is actually proven to be kind of a problem for them in lane. GH may eventually die. Oh, actually a miss happening, and Kuro is going to come in here. Kingslayer not able to quite get it. Hops away, hoping to get in tower range. Kuro may try and pursue with this troll creep. He's going to need a couple hits. There's Fairy Fire and the wand left, so ultimately Kingslayer, I don't think there's any way he can die here.
This is such a fun game to watch. Like, this series, even right now, 6 minutes in, it feels like one of those chess grandmaster matches that Aoi was talking about. Dota, not a solved game, as both supports just kind of move around, try to find a place. No team with significantly worse lanes. Both have a pretty clear win condition. Very similar to the first game, where NIGMA, into the late game, their team fight should prove overwhelming, whereas VP, if they just hit a timing, they get Roche, they get BKBs. You can easily snowball a game in a 2 to 3 minute window.
Now, what do you think went wrong in that last game where Virtus Pro was supposed to hit a timing and they were supposed to kind of take over the map, but it felt like they got stalled out by NIGMA? What went wrong exactly? Like, was it about map movement? Was NIGMA just doing a good job of staying away from Virtus Pro? What was it?
I think the first 10 minutes definitely hurt them. Like, there just wasn't enough getting done.
Okay.
I'm not really sure. I'd have to watch the tape, right? Because it looked good for them for a while. They had that really nice move around the tier 1. They kill tower, they kill a bunch of cores. I think that they just didn't push the envelope fast enough.
Yeah.
It didn't even... they just didn't get enough done.
They're going for the kill. Whoa! A little bit of miscommunication there, because they actually read that Miracle was coming over. So Kingslayer, Nightfall made the call. He's like, no, we're backing up here. As the cookie was fed out, as a result, Kingslayer, the one who wasn't up to date with what was going on, is also going to be the person left behind.
Oh, big TP bottom, but MC, oh man, he feels it coming. He has a Vanguard. I don't even know if this is a kill, but they're trying for it. 1 point arrow, 2 points Starfall. DM trying to set it up. He has the boat, but I just don't know if you can kill this guy. Gets the roll.
Oh, the Winter Wyvern, they're actually going to be coming in. The arrow instantly landing onto the Winter Wyvern, but is that going to be enough to be able to save DM? The boat's coming in here. That'll help him be a little bit tankier, but it feels like the damage has already kind of been done, and it's building up as the axes continue to hit. DM turns around and does what damage he can, and also lays out the X to make sure that Save can get away safely.
That was a big part of it in the last game, too, if you remember. A lot of pickoffs. Really, maybe it started with that pickoff on GPK mid, right?
Yeah.
He's 4 levels ahead, dies immediately to the Cataclysm. So you don't have that answer as NIGMA here. You don't have some crazy power spike where you can just suddenly auto-kill an enemy.
Sure.
But they have a much better laning phase. Their draft is a lot more geared for the mid game, and so far they're off to a great start. And look at the warding, too. Love this. Crow did a little run through top before this move, so they have incredible vision for their top safe lane.
Well, one of those wards was actually laid down by Miracle. He's now going to show himself onto GPK here. GPK instantly TPing away, but not too far. TP'd onto the tier 2. So we wouldn't totally ruin his farm game here, but he's still being kind of zoned out by all of NIGMA. They're just moving around this mid lane constantly.
This is called Denying a Triangle 101 as Miracle now continues to farm TA's map, and the wards help them. Like, they're not even playing in the mid lane. GH, you can take that, nuke it with your W. We're going to deal with jungle, and they have such great vision up here that they can just play in between tier 1, tier 2 if necessary. VP, the downside of this draft, if they don't have Mars or Kunkka, they don't actually have real kill threat.
Yeah.
You can't auto-land a cookie or an arrow. You need setup.
I will say that I think that is something that has allowed NIGMA to be able to win so many games, is the fact that they have a stronger... It feels like every single draft they build up, they seem to always hit a better timing in threatening this mid lane. Miracle bounce it away from the support of Save. Is going to be given a cookie here. They're just hoping to body block him up long enough that Nightfall can land this combo, and they do hit it. Ultimately, Miracle will die to a 3-man rotation from Virtus Pro.
But look at the space, right? GH,
Yep.
farming, stacking, top lane, ILTW free farming, bottom lane, mind control free farming. So that was all Miracle. He forces 4, technically 5, because you did see DM shade over to rotate into VP's own jungle. So job done, really.
Yeah, and they have all the information that all those heroes were there because of all their aggressive warding that they have, the 2 different wards in the triangle right now. I mean, I feel like that has been a question we have asked throughout this tournament, is like, how do we stop this Templar Assassin? It's not as simple as just invading the triangle, because, like, okay, teams will understand you're going to invade the triangle, and they'll play accordingly. They'll sit with supports on the high ground while TA farms, since we're going to watch this kill again. Great body blocking by Save. But yeah, it certainly feels like NIGMA has figured out certain answers, and part of that has got to be both the aggressive warding and the supports rotations, as they're just constantly roaming around this area.
GPK, he's going to triple stack the Ancients. This is the first time, oh wait, is he? GH thought about stepping in. He's actually going to TP bottom. They're making a move.
They are indeed. Mortimer's Kisses, that's going to be enough to be able to kill the Beastmaster. He gets off the roar, but highly unlikely that's a kill. Meanwhile, the middle lane is being pressured. DM with a fast move over. Does manage to hit the X. Zone him down at the Torrent. They don't have the boat follow up, but they do have the arrow, they do have the cookie, and they have the numbers to be able to bring down Miracle again. NIGMA are trying to force him all around the map, but this time it feels like Virtus Pro is beginning to keep up.
They are no slouches. That was a very quick move. They get the kill bottom, and immediately they're setting on middle.
Winter's Curse immediately with the TP coming in for the Beastmaster. DM gonna take a decent amount of damage here. Now the Han coming out. The cookie doesn't quite get him over the lip of the edge there, and the Torrent will not save him. NIGMA returning fire as the siege on the mid towers continue here. Leading up, arrow on ILTW, GPK looking to be able to get some side blade hits, but he's actually ventured a little too forward here, and NIGMA are going to try and take advantage here. GPK just being run over by 5 heroes. Virtus Pro didn't expect all of that kind of aggression. And once again, NIGMA is the first team to be able to take the opposing mid lane tower. I'm telling you, Kyle, these guys know something about this mid lane that other teams don't.
Definitely. I love the way that they're moving. Both teams, really. This is aggression. This is calculated. Great setup. All 5 rotate, and you can see VP, they're overestimating their own strength a little bit. They didn't have their spells prepared. TA, this is not your strong point. You want to take that tripled Ancients, Cap. You are not trying to get involved in 5-on-5 team fights. That's a Razor, a Wyvern, like this NIGMA lineup. Now that they all have their level 6, like you actually can't really team fight them right now if you're VP. You need pickoffs to start. You need a boat or an arena to get a kill on a core. You cannot really fight 5-on-5 like this, especially if you're on the retreat. The support's pumping out a lot of damage.
And Virtus Pro. I mean, I think the panel was saying something about, maybe it was actually last series. Maybe you were the one saying it. Maybe big part of like just early game control and map movement is just abusing the small mistakes that people make. And that was a small mistake that Virtus Pro made, right? Is the fact that they tried to go and take that mid tower themselves. ILTW dodging a lot there. Unfortunately, there are too many options here as Virtus Pro. Okay, the Cold Embrace and Winter's Curse. Can they actually keep him alive here? ILTW taking a little bit more damage. Eventually, he does go down, but Virtus Pro, they had to commit so much that now it's Miracle in the mix here, and he actually gets speared into Kingslayer. He goes ahead, leaves Nightfall behind. He's like, that's fine. My allies got the other kill. I'm going to get the +1 in the support. Ultimately, they kill the carry of NIGMA, yes, but it costs them so much.
Cost them their carry, Cap. That's not an off-lane Mars. And a blink first on GPK. This is... I don't see this out of him very often, especially he's just now starting to skill up Meld. This didn't feel like it was planned. They're feeling the pressure a little bit. 2K down.
They know?
Do they have detection?
I think he might have gone invis before that happened. They may not be expecting all of a sudden this onslaught of damage coming out from GPK. He has to be able to blink away from the Razor, though. That is why he picks up that item. Save, gonna go for the TP out. The damage comes a little bit too fast for him, though. Kuro ultimately takes the kill. That's a killing spree given away as well.
This is just going... NIGMA is further ahead than the 4K you see on the screen. Their draft is not supposed to be crushing this hard. Spectre in the late game, you see the all-chat NA Dota with some of the best fan packs. My favorite is, of course, Arkosh, but Halberd now on the Razor. Good curse.
I mean, Winter Wyvern, the Cold Embrace, plus the Winter's Curse. Even if ILTW dies here, they have just had to stay there so long that Miracle's rotation comes to great effect.
And it's just the vision too, man. I mean, check out this map. As we come back to live, Kuro got the chuckles because he knows they're feeling good right now, but it's just this deep ward. I feel none of the ones they placed earlier had been countered, and I just feel like every time we toggle to just dire vision, we see multiple Radiant heroes. Bear in mind as well, the bird. Another very valuable summon. You can see it as a makeshift ward on a choke point. It just provides so much control for Team NIGMA. And in addition, they've got their tools online. How is GPK supposed to kill people with 2 points Meld, no Deso, and against an enemy Razor with the Halberd?
Yeah. It feels like he's got to answer this Razor in so many ways that he's going to stall out his own game enough that Spectre is going to swoop in at some point in time and take over.
That's the thing. The NIGMA lineup, it scales, right? It's going to continue to grow in terms of its damage output. VP, it's all spell damage. It's TA with the right clicks. Everybody else is 1 round of spells, and hopefully, did that kill something? Because if so, we can keep going. Otherwise, no. If you don't go for the Razor, you're going to get drained, you're going to get halberded. But if you do, then there's a Wyvern. There's a Roar follow-up.
Winter's Curse with the creep wave. That's going to hold him for a while. The arrow's going to come through. Nightfall going to go for the TP wave, but that is, again, too slow. And NIGMA finding another kill in Kingslayer.
Same way that VP can blow ults to find kills, NIGMA, they have the same exact tools. The Roar in one location, the Winter's Curse in another. Meanwhile, LTW, all by his lonesome, continuing to farm up, going straight for the defusal this game. I love it because he is a huge threat to the Snapfire, to the Mirana. It's another great Spectre game.
NIGMA is definitely showing that they have just gotten better over this major. They had to go through the wild card, did very well for themselves in the group stage. And it feels like they have had, I believe, they've lost 8 games. 8 individual games here at this major, I believe. And every single one of those games, it feels like they've learned something and gotten better.
Yeah. You learn from losing. Like, I bet coming into this, day 1 of the tournament, VP versus NIGMA, I would have said VP 2-0, no question. But they have grown so much. Miracle doing his best Jordan impression, playing through the pain. But I got to say, shout out as well to Pippin and Rodman, never getting enough credit. I think ILTW and Mind Control have done just fantastic throughout this event. This game, they're on point. I don't want to count out VP, but at the same time, it just feels like right now is Team NIGMA's time. And you got to make something happen if you're VP. You've got all your spells on cooldown, but look at this. They just keep playing under dire wards.
Yes. I
Like
think you were
always.
obsessed with LGD's vision. And you said this was like, this is what is winning them the game. And it feels like this is a similar story here from NIGMA, that they are getting every bit of vision.
They know that they have vision there, and they're going to invade anyway.
Miracle's going to go for it. Moonlight Shadow going to be used. Nightfall looking to be able to push away the Razor. Does so with the Spear. Boars are going to investigate. They quickly get killed by GPK, who's now showing off that Deso.
And Diffusal Blade picked up. LTW shoved in bottom all the way. Now goes straight to top. Has Haunt ready. And, oh, beautiful from Crow. He has the Ice Ogre. That denies the Deso.
Yep. Oh, you can see he actually uses the Ice Ogre there to be able to get a bit of Side Blade damage onto Miracle. And it felt pretty good to be able to start this, and it looks like they're finally going to commit. They're going to go for Miracle. He's going to be pulled back into a decent amount of magic damage. They got the Cold Embrace. They actually spear him back. The Mortimer's Kisses is raining in, but the Winter's Curse is going to be able to stop this combination. The Mirana actually jumping into that one. They're still going for Miracle, and they do manage to get him with the meld hit. Curl on the high ground, throwing down those impetus shots. Is they're going to be able to get another X marks the spot back in. This time it's on ILTW. The arrow tanked up by Mind Control, looking to be able to save his boy, but is in turn going to be speared back into the tier 3. Managed to get off the roar off once again. The Cold Embrace slowing things down. Kingslayer's on a pittance of health, and it's going to fall as the axes clean him up. And Virtus Pro, who thought they had the advantage, would be wrong. Underneath the tier 2 being assaulted, but GPK coming back in does manage to kill Mind Control. The arrow slides right on past ILTW. GPK fighting for his life here against the Spectre, but ILTW proves to be too strong.
Way too strong, Cat. VP, they tried their best. A couple of really nice spears back, but it's the support duo of Team NIGMA. Kuroki, yeah, he dies. He was out of mana, out of health. He did everything he could for his squad. GH, 3-man Winner's Curse. Excellent. Couple of Cold Embraces. You see,
3
he maxed
Cold
it.
Embraces
He
in
maxed
one
it.
team fight.
So good. It's so much health regen as well. 45 plus 6.5%, and he talented it as well. He knew what kind of game this was. He is not to be relied upon for damage necessarily. He's just trying to keep people alive through the burst combinations. Get through VP's spell combinations. TA out of mana. LTW was like, yeah, I got this, no problem. You are no threat without refraction.
Let me say, small note, good use of Virtus Pro popping that glyph. I think that actually gets them 2 kills they wouldn't have gotten otherwise due to the multi-shot on the tier 2 tower.
That's a good point. I keep bringing up the vision, but check this triumvirate of wards. Where's ILTW playing? Bottom lane. He's gotten here full coverage.
He gets Spirit Vessel on the Kunkka. They recognize that this health, this regen, that it's a huge factor in these team fights.
It's stacking too, because remember, Dispersion deals damage pre-reduction. Spectre himself takes only damage post-reductions. What do they put? Cold Embrace, Crimson Guard, the healing, the lifesteal tier 1 item that he picked up early game.
Yeah.
It's a lot of mitigation.
Also, different build this time from the Spectre, right? Still goes the Echo Saber, goes the early Diffusal rather than the early Manta. What do you think the difference is in this game to the last?
Getting active more early. It's a more effective item. You can see it there. Really nice against GPK. It's also a separate instance of damage, so it will burn the 2 refraction charges instead of just the 1.
So last game was a little bit more about dodging some of the fights when Virtus Pro was really strong. This one is about actually fighting them head on. And Virtus Pro, it feels like in some ways they are getting slightly desperate here.
That was sick. Mind Control, the bird died to the cleave. He knows they're in Roche now.
Yep. And Virtus Pro, they know it too. They got that Hawk bounty. They're going to bait GPK inside of the pit, and the rest of the team is going to play on the dire high ground
it's a big
here.
Smoke. It's a great move if they can pincer.
It's a risky maneuver, but it might just pay off here. The arrow's going to come from the side. NIGMA, okay, they're going to know what's going on now. GPK is still the target, though. They're going to go ahead and defuse a blade him up. They're going to go for it, but Nightfall, he does manage to get his initiation. Immediately, the spear goes down onto the Razor. Has to turn around, though, because the Cold Embrace isn't going to be able to do anything. Mind Control just roared up DM, who's also going to fall. This is just Virtus Pro getting worked in this team fight. They initiated, but it wasn't even close to being good.
That was the easiest combination ever. GH, lowest net worth on his team. Cold Embrace is the target. That cancels out the enemy carry's entire ultimate. There's no damage. VP, huge hole in the draft. It's all physical damage. They all in on this idea that they were going to control the armor, while GH, he's countering you wholeheartedly. Just that. Look at the healing. There's 0 damage output. Doesn't matter how much armor you have.
Yeah, I mean,
Holy Locket.
they have Mortimer's Kisses for early magic damage, but like, you just look at Miracle's HP. Like, between the Holy Lockets that they have on their 2 supports, plus this guy's got a Heaven's Halberd, he's got a full magic wand, he's got the Essence Ring on top of that, he's got a BKB now, but even before that, he was tough to bring down with the limited amount of magic damage that Virtus Pro had.
I mean, even so, before the Holy Locket amplification, Cold Embrace is going to heal 26% of your max HP plus 180. With Holy Locket, it's then increased by that 35%, plus you can then Holy Locket your ally. So it's got to be like 40, 50% healing.
Yeah. No, certainly.
And the immunity. There's no magic damage on the side of VP. They're in huge trouble in this game.
Yeah, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. Game 1, Virtus Pro, they have their moments. Game 2, it's all NIGMA all day.
They have the late game as well. Yeah, TA top of the net worth. GPK certainly doing his part. He'll have his BKB up soon, now has the Dragonlance. But yeah, I haven't seen anybody go Blink before Dragonlance Deso in some time, and really didn't feel like much got done with it.
LTW feeling a little feisty here. Save. Quick reactions by him, but he's underneath the Hawk right now and doesn't realize it. It's going to be roared. Does have his Yule Scepter now. One more leap, maybe. But that's only going to take him so far here. As ultimately, he is going to die. Another 3 minutes left on the Aegis, too.
It's wild watching LTW play different corners of the map and having the wards pre-planted. Like, I don't know if they're scripting this or what's going on, but he was bottom, those wards fade, now he's top, has another great one, controlling his jungle with the Aegis as well, so he's just fine. DM. Oh, he caught the X, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was smooth.
ILTW set up on that one. DM had a while to be able to figure out what to do to get out of that situation. But it's interesting that nobody of NIGMA tried to take advantage of that move. They wanted to stay controlling this bottom part of the map.
We'll see. I don't see a way for VP to win a fight if they don't just kill Wyvern. Like, he has to die at the start of a fight. But keep in mind, they're also reliant on blinks on both Mars and TA, and if LTW just presses R, how do they find the backline?
Look at this, one after the other. They're trying to clear out the top lane, and ILTW is just able to solo push them away.
They can't contest him. He's got Aegis. You don't fight into Aegis Spectre.
How is he so confident that the Virtus Pro doesn't move a 5-man up to him?
I think he just trusts his team. They're going to get there in time. And they need to blow just too many abilities. If GH is hiding in the trees, like, GH is never showing on map. Maybe throws out a blast and backs off, but, you know, they've learned their lesson. A Cold Embrace, a Winter's Curse to turn things around. Like, ILTW, he's like VP's vision. You can see they see nothing. How do they know that he's alone, even though they have a ward?
They're gonna. Okay, that's a BKB used by the Templar Assassin, and NIGMA sees it too. Oh dear.
I'm looking back at the VP booth. I don't see the table tilted, so it might be just the team. Right now, not looking good. The Tier 2 will fall bottom. We've seen this in games previous. Now opening up the outpost. VP, you can't fight into the Aegis, so you're going to have to wait that minute.
Pop Moonlight Shadow, but half their team is currently underneath a Ward Sentry combination, so. NIGMA, they know. And still playing aggressive here. ILTW gonna pop the haunt, get some vision of some of the heroes. They're gonna go for Kingslayer's gonna be the target. Yeah, he's gonna very quickly get swept up. Just Miracle and ILTW by themselves. are able to just kind of sweep through this top lane. DM gonna go for that one more creep wave, and it may get him caught in the end. He's gonna go for TP out. The shard usage,
Tidal wave.
pushing GH away so he could successfully TP out. That was fun.
That's a cool move. Oh, look. Oh, my God. They know, Cap. Everybody watching at home, I'm sure a lot of players staying up past their bedtime to check out this series, was the title fight of the card today. Double Holy Locket, mech on Enchantress.
Yeah, yeah.
First pick Enchantress. Something to see here, folks. And the item build. I mean, Miracle has the Halberd BKB. He'll go AC next. All about the team play, the auras.
I mean, Ice Frog's just sitting there watching this game, maniacally laughing. He's like, it finally worked. Holy Locket finally got enough buffs. That now it's meta.
I've always joked that healing is sort of like reverse pure damage. Hang on.
Primal Roar leading off. DM going to be given the cookie. Actually bounces into the Spectre here. Trying to line things up. They're going to go for Kuro, see if they can blow him up real quickly with the Mortimer's Kisses. Yeah, they've got the position 5. He's certainly dead, but can they bring anybody else down? ILW, he is rather tanky. The shots are coming in. Can they finish him off? The Witcher's Curse, the Cold Embrace, and here it goes. He's healing up. They need more damage. GPK is able to put it out, but he can't survive through a TP away from everybody on Virtus Pro, but again, Nightfall just not able to complete it. Miracle with the double damage cleans things up.
GH took his sweet time coming to the team fight. Gets there for some offensive firepower. The Cold Embrace, yeah, the Spectre still dies, but you can see they had to commit so much more time that by the time they're actually able to turn around after the kill, Miracle's got a full drain off, and they lose heroes. That's going to be a tier 2 as well. VP still have life in them, though. You can see GH not there. Kill Kuro first. That healing power disappears. But AC now complete. That is a huge turnaround. 10 armor disparity now that you have to play with this VP.
Now, that is a bit of a problem, though. The fact that you say when GH isn't there, they can win a fight. But one of the advantages of when you're the one controlling the map gets smaller and it's easier to move around. As we're going to watch this one again. See, the damage eventually does get done, but ultimately it's still a very easy team fight for NIGMA.
Yeah, there's the auras too. Beastmaster, we don't see it very often. It's still one of the better heroes scaling into the late game.
Virtus Pro just hide and go seek at this point.
Yeah. And I love, dude, the auras. Oh man, it's just.
They're gonna catch DM here. They've got the blink on mind control. They're tired of DM and his split pushing shenanigans.
It warms my heart, Cap, to see a team invest so heavily into their allies. You hit a power spike now. Look, it's beautiful. Double Holy Locket. The Spectre with 4 items, all cheap, easy build up. Vlad's, AC, Mech, Solar Crest, Crimson Guard.
What a slaughter. They're going to use the Winter's Curse. When you're dropping ultimates like that just to be able to kill the position 5, you got to know you're pretty far ahead.
They actually skipped Solar Crest, Cap. No medallion either. Maybe there's something to read into there as well. They got pretty much every other item.
Yule's into an arrow, but can't really spear him back.
Lil Nick, he's finally at a major.
I mean, ILTW is certainly upping his taunt game. Learned from his time on OG Psychological Warfare.
This draft, the itemization, the way they've played, eating the map, the all-chat spam, like OG isn't at the major, but it does feel like their inspiration still lingers.
Virtus Pro, 4-man smoke up. They're going to leave the Snapfire behind for this one. And they're going to run into Miracle. Do they want to go for this kill, though? Underneath it, oh, Nightfall whiffing the immediate initiation, and now Miracle's pops his BKB, and Nightfall is in trouble. Miracle has soaked up all of his damage. Virtus Pro looking to be able to kite back here. They have to commit, though. They've already lost the Mars, and now they have got the bow coming in, but there it is. Once again, the Cold Embrace being used. Mortimer's Kiss is raining into magic damage, but GPK is getting taken out here. A wave comes through from DM, but ultimately, it's a wave just to try and get away. DM Wave goodbye. He throws out one more tsunami before he TPs away and will manage to make it out. But Virtus Pro, again and again, it's them running away from team fights rather than winning them.
I haven't learned their lesson, Cap. Miracle is not your target.
No.
He is so tanky, and GH is right there. Like, you must stop the Wyvern and just the healing power. This first cliff, if you remember, that did help them get kills. This second one, they can't even kill a creep wave.
No, they can't.
That's a wrap.
DM not even here, is just farming up wherever he can on the map because there's no point. Without GPK, they have no damage. And hell, when they do have GPK, they don't have any damage because of Cold Embrace.
So fun to watch. Second Rack's falling. VP on the ropes.
2 lanes down, and Aghanim Scepter picked up for a Kunkka. That's what he was doing while they lost 2/3 of their base.
Hey, that preemptive Cold Embrace, GPK BKB'd. He blinked in, and Meld struck a Razor that was already immune to damage, then got roared. They just have answers. VP very much just, they got one punch. They have one concept that they can take to team fights. Whereas
NIGMA have the ultimate defense.
Yeah.
All right, this
Last
is pretty much
hurrah.
it. Virtus Pro, as you say. Last move from them. Smoke up Moonlight Shadow straight into a Winter's Curse. Catching 2. ILTW going for the back line. DM's going to try and throw out his combination here, but Nightfall's already lost all of his health and all of his damage. Miracle's going to turn that damage right back around onto DM. It goes for a TP away, but the Primal Roar is going to stop that. 2 cores down. This time around, GPK is the one to linger, and a GG is called. They cannot keep up with NIGMA, and it feels like not many teams at this major can, Kyle.
Indeed. A subdued celebration. It is late at night. Miracle perhaps not 100%, but they will get a day off now. This is huge. Top 6 secured, but not TI. Playing like this, I'm a believer, but keep in mind who waits for them. Next match in the upper bracket, PSG, LGD, quite possibly the strongest team left in this bracket that isn't on stage right now.
No, absolutely. LGD and NIGMA, there's a reason why they were able to make it through those groups. And for this team in particular, feels like they've just gotten stronger and stronger. God, I love seeing the smiles on these guys' faces. Really makes me reminisce a little bit of the TI-7.
Starting to get the tingles, Cap.
Yeah.
Took a tiebreaker, also very late at night, just to get them into the group stage. Now, what is it, 2:30 a.m.? Exhausted, but successful.
And happy as hell, you can tell. Well done. Their first test here in the upper bracket, a future test in LGD. But for right now, and for tonight, NIGMA